It starts with a horrific surprise attack, then spreads like a tidal wave across vast stretches of ocean. Before it's over, the conflict in the Pacific launches an entirely new form of naval warfare and sends brave men into battle over crippling terrain. This is the epic story of terrifying fanaticism and personal heroism. November 26, 1941. North of Japan's Kuril Islands, a huge Japanese fleet sets off on a secret mission across the Pacific. Thousands of miles away, at the US naval base at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, all is peaceful. Much of the US Pacific Fleet is in port. Under total radio silence, 6 Japanese aircraft carriers and over a dozen smaller warships head south on a collision course with destiny. 11 days later, the fleet is within striking distance of Hawaii. At Pearl Harbor, American troops are waking up to another beautiful day. Aboard the Japanese carriers, there's a last-minute briefing. Then a wave of over 180 warplanes takes off. An hour later, they're over Pearl Harbor. 5 US warships are hit almost immediately. Within an hour, 2 US battleships are sinking, 2 capsize, and 2 more are badly damaged. US aircraft lined up on the island's airstrips are also hit. As news of the attack spreads across America, there is shock and horror, but there is also a question: why has America been caught napping? Until recently, Japan and America had been friends. But with the Great Depression, Japan caught the same disease as Europe crazed nationalism. In Germany, Hitler grabbed world attention as he seized power. In Italy, Mussolini sang to the same nationalist tune. Now in Japan, a new militaristic regime vowed to restore the country's greatness through force. In 1937, a ruthless Japanese war machine tore through China. 3 years later, they expanded their brutal actions with the invasion of former French colonies in Southeast Asia. This move finally forced America to react. In the summer of 1941, the US froze Japan's overseas financial assets and imposed an oil embargo. It hit Japan hard. The country received 80% of its oil from America. Japanese diplomats traveled to Washington to negotiate, but relations were tense and no one expected war. On December 7, 1941, the unthinkable happened. The surprise attack on Pearl Harbor shocked the world and forced America into World War II. But Japan's gamble for a quick, decisive knockout blow was about to backfire. The morning of the bombing raid, the 3 most important ships in the Pacific Fleet, its aircraft carriers, were not in port. Missing them turned out to be a major Japanese mistake. Yet in the immediate aftermath of Pearl Harbor, America was caught napping again and again. 10 hours after the attack on Pearl Harbor, Japanese bombers appeared over Clark Field in the Philippines, destroying much of the US air power in the region. American forces were caught on the hop for a second time. But as shock turned to outrage, America mobilized. President Franklin Roosevelt declared war on Japan. The US military machine geared up, transforming civilian factories into armament powerhouses. Japan's gamble had failed. America was now ready to unleash a whole new form of naval warfare that would transform the war in the Pacific entirely. This is World War II in the Pacific, a battle of terrifying fanaticism and personal heroism. Stay tuned for more compelling stories as we dive deeper into the untold tales of these epic battles.